Nelson Mandela, former president of South Africa and staunch advocate of non-violence and social equality, once said, artists reach areas far beyond the reach of politicians. Art, especially entertainment and music, is understood by everybody and it lifts the spirits and morale of those who hear it. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another talk episode, e-discussion episode of Kashmir Journal. I'm very happy to welcome Miss Nagma ji to this discussion. She does,
Namaste, salam to all your viewers.
thank you, ma'am. So, none really needs a big introduction or intro about Miss Nagma ji. She's a very popular actor and a politician, a social worker, and much more. She had acted in almost 9 languages, 100 plus films. She's also currently the General Secretary to All India Mahila Congress, which is a organ of Indian National Congress.
Thank you, Irfan, for your wonderful introduction. And I'm very happy to be joining you today on this interview.
Yes, ma'am.
And also applaud the good work that you're doing for Kashmir and through Kashmir Journal.
I just want to add, like her first movie was Bagi with Salman Khan, and she had acted with almost every of the superstars in South and also in Bollywood. Uh, so, welcome to the episode, ma'am. Very welcome.
Why don't you tell us about the great work that you're doing through the Kashmir Journal? I hear great things that now you're introducing new tools towards peace, and it's commendable. And I'm very happy to be a part of this initiative today, where we are going to be speaking about media and culture playing a very important role in peace building.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
so why don't you tell us on the whole about your initiatives of how you want to promote tourism, how you want to through technology, how one can build peace, and apart from films and media and culture that we're going to be speaking about in great detail today.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, to say Kashmir Journal is an independent peace building research which was flagged on August 5th, 2019, the same day which Article 370 or the special status to Kashmir was abrogated. Basically, it explores the scope of a possible resolution to the decades old Kashmir crisis. And a resolution here, I really don't mean the forceful occupation of Kashmir or an independence of Kashmir. What is the resolution? It is the journey. It is this journey which finds the answer to what the resolution of this Kashmir crisis is. And to add on, like we are working with 4 organs mainly. Kashmir Journal is working in 4 organs, and the most important organ of Kashmir Journal, it's called Jannate Kashmir. It's a peace tourism initiative in which we use tourism as a catalyzer of peace and tourism to promote peace. And our second organ, it is the Peace Tech Forum. As I have already began this discussion platforms in these lockdown sessions by discussing that. It is Peace Tech Forum in which we use technology, media, and in which we use a blend of data, technology, and media to create peace. And our third organ, or the or the topic which we are going to discuss today, that is Media and Arts for Peace, or MAPe. We are using it as MAPe Labs. And we have one more project organ which exclusively explores the scope of religion and peace building. So that is basically to say about Kashmir Journal, ma'am. So coming to today's discussion, once again, I'm very thankful for you to join me. So coming directly to your topic, since you are from the film industry, and of course you are a public figure and a social worker, I would like to ask your views and get your ideas. How much do you think media and arts could be used for peace building?
See, personally, I have had an experience for obtain amount of years. I think more than 30 years, and I have been having the good fortune and opportunity because I've been successful in 9 different languages to travel around the world. And I think that words and expressions have a very important role in how they impact society. And art and creativity has always been a very important factor. Film industry has been very closely associated to many issues that are relating with society. And I think it's not easy to become, many people come to become actors in the industry. Many people join as actors, but I think that it takes a lot initially, and a lot of hard work, dedication, determination. Once you become that actor, people start uh, idolizing you, people start really listening to you, then automatically there is a sense of responsibility. And that sense of responsibility towards the society, because the society loves you so much, because they give you a lot of affection, they give you a lot of respect, and they make you what you are. You automatically become responsible towards what you feel, because films is a very big medium. Like
Exactly.
in films we portray the reality, we give a lot of entertainment. People really really enjoy and connect through across party lines. It's not about politics, it's not about anything else, but I think one and all enjoys and transcends, whether it's films, whether it's music. Coming to the mainstream media, I think that films play a very very important role. Apart from that, we have the digital media, then we have the social media, or the new media platform that you call. So these are areas and ways to connect with the youngsters, with the youth, with the strangers that you don't even know across in society, but yet the heart and the minds connect. Apart from this, you have the arts. In arts, we have the performing arts, where we have the theater, dance, music, singing. And you have the visual arts, where you have photography, painting, sculpting. Also the literary arts, where you have poetry, fiction. So all of this culminates. Also you have the street arts, which you have, where you have street plays, you have graffitis, you have street dances. So all these things really make a difference to society, especially in conflicting areas. I think that they play a very major role in even creating awareness. So all of this together, I feel, is a very important medium. And social media today is by far become very important, even when we are going to, in a democratic society, when we are holding elections, we use the medium so importantly, the print media, the televised media. And in today's times, where there is so much of hatred and hate speech and all this, I think that media does play a very important role. And also, it transcends cultures, it transcends emotions. It's just a heart to heart connect for all the actors. And of course we'll speak about this at
Yeah.
length, but I do feel like even in other countries, whether it is uh, Pakistan or countries like that, you have nearly 60% of influence of the youth, on the youth of Bollywood. So I think across countries, whether it's internationally, whether it's nationally, we artists are revered and asked about because of our work, because of the kind of films we did. So people instantly connect with us.
Exactly, ma'am. Like to add on, I would like to contribute this. Like media, it can be either a promoter of peace, or at the same time, it can be a promoter of violence too. We have seen situations when media and arts and every of this mentioned social media, whether it be mainstream media, it can be used to promote violence and conflicts in the society too. So also, as you mentioned, the influence of Bollywood in conflicting countries with India, especially in Pakistan, there has been reports, there has been research reports, almost the 60% of this Pakistani film industry is contributed by Bollywood. And as you mentioned, this influence, if rightly used, could provoke thoughts to propagate peace and friendship between all the conflicting communities. So coming to a perspective of Kashmir, what are your views on how we can use media and arts as a tool to promote peace, considered to the Kashmir perspective?
See, in our society, there is unfortunately Kashmir also, we share our borders with China and with Pakistan. And so there is a lot of conflict automatically because there is, but if we see the larger perspective and we see the interest of countries, we see the interest of communities. As you see, India, there are a lot of students, there are a lot of, people, NRIs who've gone to work abroad. And we've got people everywhere, all across internationally. So it also makes a difference. If you do racialism or do hate speech, then our people, we have to be with an understanding, can it be affected at the, at another place, but at the same time we have to also guard our borders, we have to take care of our borders. And so we have this dual responsibility, and there it is that the citizens, for the larger interest of every community. Like in Kashmir, we have the Kashmiri Pandits and we have the Kashmiri Muslims. And, I will speak at length on that when we speak about our foundation, the Chinar Foundation. But I think that, it's about communities coming together. It's about, in those conflicting regions, in those zones, what kind of pressure they're under all the time. I mean, there are arms, ammunitions, and to get these youth, to divert their attention, because economic crises are going on. The world is going through economic crisis. There's a lot of unemployment, and these people can have lots of varied thoughts. Like the extremists are at the case, the separatists, the terrorism. So to take them away from that, like one initiative I think which is very positive in Kashmir is the football league. And I think when the youth are associated with such kind of sports or entertainment or thoughts where, they have a lot of peer pressure, they cannot share their views, or they cannot go out. Women are subjected to a lot of oppression across the country. Still, we live in this, arena where it's a male-dominated industry, and women, though they have a lot of potential, but they're not able to completely express their potential or come out. Many of them, though, are doing it, and many of them are expressing. But for the, for the benefit of those who don't get to do that, this social media is a very good platform, is a very good medium. So whether, and especially I feel in these conflicting areas, the social media really, really flourishes, and it's the medium of art, culture, music, Sufism. Look at the Sufism. It's a direct connection with God, and Sufi music is so beautiful. I mean, like, music transcends the hearts, it touches the chords, and it connects the minds. So I feel, for one, that having worked in so many different languages, and having really worked with across cultures, I have just learned one thing: how to blend in with the culture, how to be one with, and it's that culture, that Kashmiriyat that we talk about, so beautifully accepts you and so beautifully allows you to blend in. And Kashmiriyat itself, that Kashmiriyat should not be lost. And I feel, especially because I am also the All India General Secretary in charge for the women's wing, and I'm in charge of Kashmir and Pondicherry. But yes, Kashmir, since it's a very conflicting region and an area, the youth of Kashmir, the youth should be given various platforms so that they have more positivity, and they have a rightful reason, because there is so much of it's not exactly, I wouldn't call it a war, but there is a constant kind of disturbance which goes on over there, as there is a lot of hate speech which goes on in the country at the moment, and we need to combat that. And I think that these kind of mediums are a very good medium for that. And also our experiences of having worked if we can come together and share these experiences, and these experiences of us can enrich and work for others. And I think this is a great way of connecting to even the strangers and youth
Exactly.
and all strata of people.
So basically, you are mentioning in Kashmir uh, the right use of elimination of hate speech, and also the right use of music as a source of connecting people. And also, you mentioned using
I am
paint.
not, Irfan, I want to just put a point across there.
Sure,
When I
sure.
say hate speech, it doesn't particularly mean Kashmir. It means it's going around
Exactly.
even India, even abroad. I mean, hate speech is something that we recently saw, like what happened to the, and people started taking the hashtag Black Lives Matter. So
Exactly.
we saw what happened with that. So it's very important to understand that this kind of hate speech or this kind of hatred is not only in India or in a particular place like Kashmir, but Kashmir, because it has a lot of conflict because of our borders,
Yes.
therefore it becomes a zone which is a little bit more, like a bit confused, I can say. People want freedom, but people don't understand what they're going to do with the freedom. I understand that they want freedom from internet, they want internet access, they want everything like how normal everybody is getting there. But then
Yeah.
we have to also understand where they come from.
Mhm.
At the same time, our democracy gives us the right to constitutionally speak against something which is taking away your basic rights.
All
So
right.
I think
So
there this medium and this platform is highly useful. Painters paint beautiful paintings and depict the true picture of what is happening at this moment and time over there. So like this, so on and so forth. I mean, in
yeah,
every area
basically,
of life,
yes, ma'am. Yes.
yeah, in every area of life, we may feel that there is negativity, but there is a way to deal with that negativity, and you have to create those opportunities, give those platforms, and make that in the darkest of times, let there be light.
Exactly. So you are
That
denoting
light,
the basic. Yes, ma'am. The current scenario, current global scenario that the world is full, not full of, even the major players like Facebook, technology players, whether it be Facebook, Twitter, they have their own special wings to monitor, to counter, and to like dismantle the hate speech across their platforms. So hate speech is something that's spread across globally. So and of course in a area, in a conflict region like Kashmir, if we have a scope of eliminating hate speech using media and arts, it will of course be a wonderful. It will of course create a wonderful impact, I guess. And also to add a very
yes, Irfan, but what I want to add is let Twitter do its job, let Facebook do its job, let all these mediums do their job, but you and me need to do our job. Our
exactly,
job is to
exactly,
stand up for the constitution.
exactly,
When my forefathers fought, and they were freedom fighters for our country when we were fighting against the Britishers. But at that time they were treated like the Britishers wanted, like they had this autocratic behavior. But now that doesn't work. If
yeah,
we have elected people and elected representatives, they are not dictators. They are
exactly,
supposed to listen to the voice of the people. They are supposed to listen and do what is right according to constitution. And if that is not happening, then we, people like you, me, the citizens of this country or of various countries, like what happened recently with with the hashtag Black Lives Matters, and what is injustice, one should and one must raise their voice, as long as they're raising it not violently, not
exactly,
inciting someone else to create violence.
yes,
Therefore, let the social media platforms do their job. But at the same time, it is important for you, me, and one and all to do our responsibility towards what our nation is, which is a secular nation, and
yes.
to maintain the fabric when some people are doing total injustice to that by promoting hate speech.
Yes, and to add on, I would like to add a very small point to your vision, ma'am. Like, if we use media and arts as a tool to foster or promote the culture of democracy, and like basic election campaigns and everything, if we use media to enroot the process of basic democratic elections into the ideas or culture, or even the lifestyle of people, it will have a great impact, on my small understanding, I thought so. And
Media has always been a very important part of the election process, and it will continue to be. But what I would like to add is that a lot of media today is doing harm than good. A lot of
exactly,
media is spreading that kind of a divide between the Hindus and the Muslims. I'm not saying that the complete media, but a large part of it is doing
exactly,
that job today, which it shouldn't be doing. And people like us should be monitoring that, and we should be seeing how we can possibly bridge that gap which is being made and being damaged, and how we could act as a catalyst where we could bring peace. So
exactly.
you and me, all of us have a great responsibility. Media, a lot a few of the media is responsibility doing their job, but a lot in the judiciary also today constitutionally is not going right, where a lot of students are being arrested, a lot of people on mere speaking for their rights, or talking about the basic constitutional right of theirs, they are getting arrested. So I think that you know sensible people, because the judiciary can be chosen, whether it is chosen through the collegium, whether it is chosen otherwise, the judges are appointed, but they have to be just and fair, because they are the upholders, they are the custodians of our constitution. And
Exactly,
our
ma'am.
constitution very clearly says the word secular. Therefore, they, it's a society at large. It's not only media, it's not only it's everything together. So it's important that we have these voices, and it's important that our democracy thrives and lives. It's important that our voices are heard, and it's important that the right voices which are talking about the constitution, or which are importantly wanting to uphold the constitution, which says that our country is a secular country, those voices should not be muzzled. And that is what we are looking at as a society towards even media, because it's one of the important pillars of our democracy, as is the judiciary, as is the society at large, our part as a society, your part, my part. And it's very important that all this together works. And I really appreciate at this time how you are creating these tools and these means to to improve tourism in Kashmir, to make peace and build bridges through the through media and arts, which has always been the case, but to more effectively use that and make it as an important tool
Yeah,
to not only vitiate the atmosphere, but improve it and build communities and the bridges that and the conflicts that is created otherwise.
exactly, man. Exactly. And coming to, I have read about you that you were born to a family of a Hindu father and a Muslim mother, and you were born in a Christmas. And that is a very rare and such a kind of complex combination, actually. So how do you see that, and how do you see yourself as a secular person, and what are your views on the secularism of our country?
So our constitution speaks about secularism, and right from Baba Sahib Ambedkar to many whether it's Nehruji or many leaders of our country, and otherwise also we've always looked at the Hindu religion says that Atite Devo Bhava. It says that Udar Charitranam. It speaks about the world is one family. So like, so on and so forth. Every religion and every book, I was always feeling that I'm a special child because the world celebrated my birthday on Christmas. So I always used to feel very happy about the fact that, okay, I was born on Christmas, and internationally this day is celebrated. So even if I'm doing nothing on this day, the world is celebrating my birthday. So I felt very good about this. And yes, I am born to a Hindu father and a Muslim mother, but we've been brought up in a very liberal atmosphere. My mom practices her own religion, my father practices his own religion, but at the same time, they've kept us to be very, very together. They've taught us to respect all religions. They've taught us to be a good human being first, and which is very important. And that's what I'm saying, that it's very important to be a good human first, human being, and
Exactly.
have that humanitarianism in you, so that it's about, every religion teaches you about loving one another. No religion teaches you to do something bad to people, or to uh, create hate. Or so it's a principal right, also constitutional right, to protect that sovereignty, to protect that integrity, to protect that very fabric of our country, which even the father of the nation says. So I'm very proud and happy. Although my film industry, because I worked in so many areas and I wanted to make a name of myself, though I belong from my mother's side and my father's side to a very to the freedom fighters family, in a way. And it's there in my DNA, it's there in my blood. But at the same time, I wanted to, as a woman, first stand on my own feet, to be able to do good for myself, because men often don't like women speaking in society today. I mean, uh, there has to be gender equality, which we will fight and we are fighting towards. But at the same time, now we see there are many, many other issues and important issues, like hate speech, and constitutionally the rights taken away, which we need to pay more attention on at this moment. And to, at the same time, keep cultures together, keep the unity together, keep society together, and to see that everybody together under one umbrella thrives peacefully.
Exactly, ma'am. And coming to a different part, like I'm very happy that you have joined us in Justice Katju sir's Chinar community, which myself is also a part of it, and I'm very happy and proud of that. So, as you know, the principles, the ideologies of Chinar as a community is of the Kashmiriyat and the famous Sufi Rishi culture of Kashmir. How do you think, and what do you think? What's your response in joining Chinar, and how do you see Kashmiriyat as a true, true tool to build prosperity between the conflicting regions among Kashmir, and also to integrate Kashmir psychologically to the rest of the India?
Look, as you already know, or Justice Kajo and me have been on the core committee of another organization, where Justice Kajo ji was the patron of that organization, and I was in the core committee. And that organization is called Kalidas Galib Foundation, which is also about the Ganga Jamuna Tehzeeb, to keep it alive. uh, so in some places they say Ganga Jamuni Tehzeeb. So that was also about Urdu and Sanskrit, to keep that culture alive and to keep the language alive, and to keep a lot of it is dying. And Chinar also is, what is Chinar? Basically, Chinar is a tree, a strong tree, like an oak wood tree, and its leaves are like maple leaves. And this foundation is a foundation which is like a healing balm to all those Kashmiri Pandits and the Kashmiri Muslims who were at one time. I mean, it's very sad with what happened in 1990. There was an exodus, and we all feel really, really, really bad about it. It's truly sad. It's truly bad. But an eye for an eye is never an answer. Apart from that, two wrongs never make a right, and we can never undo what has happened. But at the same time, we. Today, I am the All India Mahila Congress in charge of Kashmir, and I feel deeply towards, Kashmiriyat even more than what I ever felt before. And I feel good to be a part of this organization, because if this organization speaks and means to bring the Kashmiri Pandits and the Kashmiri Muslims together and keep the Kashmiriyat alive, I am definitely very fortunate to be a part of this, because I would like to be a part of every initiative of bringing people together, uniting them, keeping peace, building bridges, and that is what is most important. And this is also another way today by which we are communicating and we are getting across. I'm sure, like, I will be able to, be able to reach out to many of the youth and the young people through this medium and this
Exactly.
platform today. I also wish you the very best, because this is truly a platform which will mend
Yes,
many bridges. As we see and as we speak, there are many deaths happening, there are many killings happening. But please, let's not make this about a Hindu killing or a Muslim killing. Killing is a killing, and people who do bad are
exactly,
only
man.
meant to be
Exactly.
called out that way. I mean, they
Yes,
are fanatical people, they are extremist people, they are bad people, and that's how they are. They don't belong to a certain community. They're
exactly.
they're just they're just uh, they just believe in what they're doing is right. They're just people who are very wrongly guided, misguided, I can say, by certain ideas, and they're trying to create that idea forward, or I don't know for what it is, for the political purpose or for something, but it's damaging. And I think that every step towards building that and mending that and restoring that is what we should be involved in, and
Exactly.
that's what
Exactly.
I think our foundation
That's
is.
right. If we are about to conclude, like how on your views, media can be a right tool to promote peace. You have mentioned the influence of cinema across border lines, across the conflicting groups, also the new media scopes, the role of art, music, paintings, everything. Uh, I wish and I pray, like along with the working of Chinar community, Chinar as a community, and this Kashmir Journal as a peace building research, we will be possible to create a much better Kashmir, a prosperous Kashmir, and thus contribute to the most pending, the most lengthiest pending conflict of independent India, and contribute our part to the great humanity. So, with that note, I would like to conclude this talk, ma'am. Once again, very, very, very thank you for joining this small initiative of e-discussion of Kashmir Journal, and looking forward to host on much more topics from you and to have much more sessions with you. Thank you so much, ma'am.
I am very, very pleased, and I would like to wish you on your initiative, also wish you on your book
Yes,
that you are going to launch, I believe, this year, the Kashmir Journal.
yes,
And I am really, really enthusiastic to get hold of one copy, and I hope that you sign it for me, the first copy that you need to
definitely,
sign it
ma'am.
for me.
Definitely, my
So
first
I
copy will be
really,
to you.
yeah, and I'm looking forward to many such conversations and many such interactions, and
Yes,
I
ma'am.
think
This
that this is
engagements, this
incredibly good initiative that you're doing. And let's work together and
yes,
keep
ma'am.
this peace and keep the Kashmiriyat and keep the Kashmiri Pandits with the Kashmiri Muslims together.
Yeah,
And I think it's really a great initiative. Let's all work and let's all make many more join. And yes, the media has gone astray, a lot of the media. So we need to work together to really, keep voicing our opinions in the right perspective with the right words. And because I believe that artists are a fraternity which go beyond, and one and all people, whether they are conflicting in views with each other, opinions with each other, but one and all appreciate them, like them, and connect with them. So thank you again. Thank you very much for having me here, and I'm looking forward to many more.